Welcome back to the Marching to Madness college basketball podcast, Zoomcast, with my good friend Kermit Davis of the Ole Miss Rebels. I want to point out, Coach, you've won 454 games, 22 years as a head coach, and you're going into your fourth season now with the Rebs.
Well, thank you, Ken. I've been fortunate that been in college basketball, I think, since 1982. And so now approaching almost 40 years, and junior college, Division I, and assistant head coach. And so it's been a lot of fun, and it's amazing to watch the changes from 82 to 2021, 22.
Yeah, for real, for real. And I was just going to ask about that. As you guys have worked, with your team, your players during the off season, talk about the reactions you see and maybe the joy in the players and your staff in trying to get back to the normal routine.
Yeah, I had so much respect, Ken, for all the athletes, college football, baseball, basketball, women's sports that went through all the testing protocols. I don't know if the normal person really understands how much everybody got tested, and just on pins and needles and shutdowns and the whole thing. But we were the last Power 5 school to start playing last year. And I really hate to blame it, but it really was a big part, I think, of us. We missed some opportunities early, that maybe would helped us been an NCAA tournament team. But it is, you can see it. Guys are so glad that I think we have almost 90% in our building that is vaccinated. I encourage everybody to get vaccinated. I think we only have 2 players left that are not vaccinated. Had discussions with those guys today. And because when everybody gets vaccinated, then you're completely back to normal, Ken, and not going through the testing protocol. So we've announced 100% occupancy in the pavilion next year, which is great. So our guys are really excited.
Really excited. And I know you're really excited to have your second leading scorer back, Jarkel Joiner. 12 a game, but he really got hot late in the season. He averaged 20.3 points over those last 4 games. Now he's going to be an integral part of your roster.
He did. He made a lot of progress, and he set out the year before, but he really did. I mean, he played great. We had a great chance up 5 late against LSU and in the quarters, and got beat in the SEC tournament. And I think he had 25 and played good in the NIT. So yeah, and he's one of the very best leaders that we've had, and so he really done a great job in our locker room as well.
Coach, as these rosters turn over, with transfers and things, you got to have those solid people that are staying with it. Austin Crowley and Luis Rodriguez are 2 who've been in your program. Just talk about how they're maintaining the Ole Miss way, your way of coaching, and, the expectations for 21-22.
Yep. Luis Rodriguez, who's our leading rebounder, leaders in steals, may have probably been the best guard rebounder in our league last year. Tough, 6'6", really made a lot of progress. Played our NCAA tournament team as a freshman, broke his foot as a starter 4 games in. As a sophomore, missed the remainder of the year. He really has. He's made the Panamanian national team. He's had a really, really good summer. Austin Crowley, the guy's had a really good spring, 6'5", been with us for 2 years, understands our system, very, very athletic, high basketball IQ. So both are going to be huge parts of our team this year.
That transfer portal, is on everyone's mind. I mean, I think we're over 1,700 now, but you picked up 4 really high level players there. Nazir Brooks coming in from Miami, Ty Fagan from Georgia are 2. What did these guys help you address?
Yeah, we lost Romello White as a grad transfer. And so obviously Nas Brooks, 7 feet, 250. I mean, he was a defensive player of the year for Mick at Cincinnati. Then he went to Miami, started all the games there. I think he had 19 against Georgia Tech in the ACC tournament. Long, athletic, feels a need. Ty Fagan, we've played against. He had 19 and 13 against us in 2 games this year. We played Georgia. Obviously, Jamin Brakefield from Duke, 6'9", that I think all 3 are going to impact our team at a high level, high character guys, good students, fit in our locker room really, really well to this point.
Got a pair of four-star guards. I know you're recruiting high school players at a high level as well. Deshun, Ruffin, James White.
Yeah, Deshun, obviously was our Ole Miss's first McDonald All-American.
Mhm.
Uh, they didn't play the McDonald American game, but he got invited to the Allen Iverson game, started, had 15 points. He's an electric guy. I think maybe in the most top 3 or 4 electric guys in that whole class. Can really score, shoot, really underrated passer. James White has been a great surprise for us so far. Ken, good size, loves basketball, 6'5", can really score, willing defender. So both those guys are gonna figure highly in our team.
As we were just talking about the portal, how much do you think high school players may get squeezed a little bit with so many people moving every year?
Yeah, I think Ken, it's just going to take a couple years for everything to settle in. It's almost
Mhm.
like academic performance rating way back. It just took a couple years to kind of get all settled in, and I just think the transfer portal is not going away. But I think maybe in a couple years, some guys that maybe transfer or look around and say, it didn't really benefit those guys like we thought. That it may be better to stay exactly where I'm at. But I do think the high school guys are definitely going to get affected. It's affected the way we're recruiting. I mean, right now, of just do you go with this young guy, which you may normally do, but in the spring there's going to be 1,000 guys are going to be available that you've seen on tape that have done it at our level or at college level. So I don't think there's any doubt it's going to affect high school guys and where they're going to go to school.
Does this make you have to, I don't know if this is right, but pay more attention to your roster and give these kids more attention now?
Yeah, I think we've always given them attention, Ken, but
Mhm.
I think you're every day re-recruiting your roster all the time. I think what we've all got to do is a much better job, not with the kids on your campus, but also with parents, AAU coaches, high school coaches, who are the people, uncles, grandmothers, the people that are of influence, and when it's not going great for them, is to having conversations with them. And so it's what it is, and it's going to take a couple of years to see what happens with everything. But you're going to be able. I tell our fan base when I go talk all the time, Ken, you got to focus on the guys you get. You can't focus on the guys you lose because everybody's going to lose some. And I don't care if you're Kentucky, Duke, Carolina, Ole Miss, doesn't matter. You're going to lose some, and you got to focus on the guys that are in your program and the guys that you get.
Your programs have always been really solid at player development. You can just look back at the Middle Tennessee teams, and see where, you got them to a point there, got them in the NCAA tournament. The players went other places, same at Ole Miss. So Terrence Davis, I saw him play here with the Raptors several games before he was traded to Sacramento. Just talk about him a little bit. And I know you're elated that he's done this well.
Yep, I know he's getting close, I think, to the second contract. Ken, he played unbelievable for the Kings down the stretch. I went and saw him play the Grizzlies. I think he got 19,
Mhm.
and he had highs of 31. So hopefully, knock on wood, he's going to get that second contract here pretty soon. Brian Tyree
Mhm.
was playing great in the G League for the Raptors, and he tore knee injury out for the remainder of the year. And so, yeah, Terrence Davis is a great story, Ken. He averaged 1 point a game as a freshman. And, in a day and time when, maybe guys leave and blame everybody else, he just went to work and got better. And just, did a great job getting himself to our level, second team all rookie. And we all know that TD is going to have a long NBA career.
Yeah, as we're talking about the NBA, the Suns and Bucks tipped it off last night. Just wondering if you were able to watch any of it and maybe your take on game one.
Yep. I mean, just kind of more of the same of Chris Paul and Booker. And right now, Chris Paul at his age, it's amazing his conditioning, his health, his mobility, his quickness. He was never got dunked a bunch of balls, but his pace and IQ off ball screens are, you'd have to say probably the best in the NBA right now.
Mhm.
And a lot of people can say mid-range basketball is gone. Go watch an NBA game and see how
Yeah.
many mid-range shots that Chris Paul makes.
Mhm.
And then the best guards that come off ball screens are making a lot of mid-range shots. He's terrific at it. Just got a great young team, fun team to watch, and I think it's going to be a great series. You know, when I think the Bucks will kind of settle in, and so hopefully it'll go 7 games. We all hope.
We all hope. Yeah. Last thing, Coach. Name, image, and likeness. It's all on our thoughts, the tips of our tongues. I'm so happy finally these kids are getting something out of what they deserve. I realize they get an education and all this type of thing, but that to me that's old news, yesterday's news. Let's give these guys a piece of the pie now, and I think they've gotten it right.
Yeah, I do too, Ken. I mean, it just you think about athletes, and is it going to forever change college athletics? No doubt, it's getting more and more to the professional model. That's just where we are. And but you're right. I mean, when a person in the band or an art student or a music person or electrical engineer can go and do some things during their college careers, and they're pursuing their education, and all of a sudden student athletes couldn't. And you can see now, I mean, there's student athletes that are starting the process. Our guys are starting the process. Ole Miss has been, and our state has been way out in front, you know, as a state and as a school preparing for it. We have a third party called Influencer that's handling all of it. And I'm with you totally, Ken. I think it's going to be great for the young people there. And you know, it's just ever changing. It's just something that, you know, we got to wrap our arms around. And I just think it's going to be, you know, it's going to take a couple years, you know, just to kind of make some tweaks and turns about, you know, I just hope that everybody's on the same playing field, all the different states, you know, that
Yeah.
everybody's going to be treated the same. There's going to be no unfair advantages in different states or at different schools.
Yeah, and I think everybody needs to point out, football, men's basketball, and women's basketball, they kind of carry the mantle for college sports, but like the lady that's a gymnast at LSU, everybody's in play here. It's not just the three major things on campus.
Yeah, I mean, even like baseball here,
Yeah.
our tennis is great. Women's golf won a national championship. Uh,
Mhm.
don't ever underestimate the power of women in
Oh
this
no.
NIL. I mean, just
Yeah.
what you just said. I mean, gymnastics, tennis, golf, great talented young ladies that are pretty, you know, and present themselves in a great way. I mean, it's no doubt. I mean, that sells. But I tell our guys all the time, no matter who you are, you're going to have to, you can't lose sight. You better work every day. You better improve yourself. Those guys you see on TV, their brand is big. You know why? Because they're great players. They've worked extremely hard and they impact winning. And so you're
Mhm.
going to have to impact winning. And those guys that can impact winning and get their teams to championships and NCAA tournament wins, those are the most marketable people.
Coach Kermit Davis back here on Marching to Madness. Always fun catching up with you, Coach. Good luck to you, and I know we'll talk down the road.
Thank you, Ken. Always enjoy your show. It's always great being with you.